Death is inevitable for all mortals, both great and small. No matter how rich or poor, high or low, death comes for us all. But what happens after death? Where does the spirit go? Does it go to heaven or hell? Or maybe just vanish into thin air? Well, the Bible has some answers for us. And in this video, we're going to look at 5 clear signs that your spirit is alive. Welcome back to another episode of Amazing Facts. Today we are discussing about 5 clear signs that your spirit is alive. Make sure to watch each one of them and find out if your spirit is alive or not. Also, before we begin, make sure to subscribe so you can be the first to know when we upload new videos. Now let's get started. Number 5. Your body changes. When someone dies, their body goes through a series of changes that are both fascinating and sometimes disturbing. These changes are a natural process that occurs as the body begins to break down and decompose. The first and most obvious change that takes place is the cessation of breathing. Without the vital function of respiration, the body is unable to take in oxygen, which is essential for sustaining life. This leads to a lack of movement and responsiveness, which is often the first indication that someone has died. The heart, which had been tirelessly pumping blood throughout the body, gradually slows down its rhythm until it stops beating altogether. Without the circulation of blood, vital organs begin to shut down, leading to the eventual death of the entire body. Another significant change that occurs after death is the release of certain gases from the body. As the digestive system begins to break down, bacteria and other microorganisms present in the gut release gases, such as methane and nitrogen. These gases can cause the stomach to expand, leading to bloating and even the expulsion of gas from the rectum. This can be quite odorous, and is often one of the most noticeable signs that someone has recently died. Following the release of gases, the body begins to undergo a process known as livor mortis, which is the pooling of blood in the lower parts of the body due to the absence of muscle tone. This results in a reddish discoloration that eventually turns purplish blue as the blood cells break down. Another noticeable change is the stiffening of the body, also known as rigor mortis. This occurs due to the lack of adenosine triphosphate, or ATP, which is a molecule that helps regulate muscle contraction. Without sufficient ATP levels, the muscles contract and become stiff, making it difficult or impossible to move or manipulate the body. The final visible change that takes place is algor mortis, which is the cooling of the body. As the person's body temperature drops, it begins to match the temperature of the surrounding environment. This can lead to a significant drop in body temperature within a few hours of death. These post-mortem changes are not only fascinating from a scientific perspective, but they also serve as important indicators of the time of death and other vital information for medical examiners and forensic investigators. It's important to remember that each of these changes occurs at different times and at different rates, depending on various factors, such as environmental temperature and the individual's overall health at the time of death. So if you notice any of these signs, you should contact your local law enforcement right away. Number 4. You see a spiritual being. Seeing a spiritual being is a profoundly personal and often life-changing experience that can bring a sense of wonder, awe, and even comfort to those who encounter it. For some people, seeing a spiritual being can be a deeply spiritual and religious experience that reaffirms their faith and provides them with a sense of connection to the divine. In many religions and belief systems, seeing a spiritual being such as an angel or a loved one who has passed away can be seen as a sign of God's presence or a message from the afterlife. In some cases, people who see spiritual beings report feeling a sense of peace, love, and acceptance that brings them comfort during difficult times. Others may feel a sense of joy and excitement at the possibility of communicating with beings from another realm. However, for some people, seeing a spiritual being can be a frightening and unsettling experience, especially if the being is perceived as malevolent or otherworldly. In such cases, individuals may feel a sense of fear, dread, and even terror that can be overwhelming and difficult to shake. Number 3. You hear a voice. Hearing a voice is a common human experience that can occur in various contexts and serve a variety of purposes. When someone speaks to you directly, it can be a way of communicating information, expressing emotions, or building relationships. Hearing a voice can evoke a range of emotional responses depending on the context and the nature of the interaction. When someone compliments you, it can boost your self-esteem and make you feel appreciated. Conversely, when someone criticizes you, it can make you feel negative emotions such as shame, embarrassment, or anger. Hearing a voice can also be a powerful way to connect with others on an emotional level. When someone shares their thoughts and feelings with you, it can create a sense of intimacy and closeness that can strengthen your relationship with them. Likewise, when you hear the voice of someone you care about, it can bring you joy and happiness. However, hearing a voice can also be a distressing experience. When you hear a loud or unexpected noise, it can startle you and make you feel anxious or on edge. Similarly, when you hear a voice that is critical or judgmental, it can make you feel self-conscious and insecure. Number 2, you feel a physical touch. Feeling a physical touch is a deeply intimate and often emotionally charged experience that can evoke a wide range of responses depending on the context and the nature of the touch. When it comes from a loved one, physical touch can be a powerful way to express affection, comfort, and support. A hug from a family member or a gentle caress from a partner can convey deep feelings of love and connection that transcend words. It can be a source of strength and solace, especially during times of stress, grief, or sadness. However, physical touch can also be a source of conflict and tension. Unwanted or inappropriate touching can be seen as an invasion of personal boundaries and can make the recipient feel uncomfortable, violated, or even traumatized. In such cases, physical touch can exacerbate existing tensions and create new conflicts. Additionally, physical touch can be a complex and nuanced form of communication that is open to misinterpretation. A casual pat on the back may be perceived as a gesture of camaraderie by the person giving it, but can come across as condescending or patronizing to the person receiving it. Number 1, a loved one appears to you. When a loved one appears to you, whether in a dream, vision, or other spiritual manifestation, it can be a deeply moving and emotionally charged experience. The appearance of a loved one can bring a sense of comfort, peace, and connection, especially during times of grief, uncertainty, or difficulty. It can be a way for individuals to process their emotions and find strength in the love and support of their departed loved ones. For example, when someone is grieving the loss of a loved one, the appearance of that loved one in a dream or vision can bring a sense of closure, healing, and comfort. The deceased may appear to offer words of wisdom, encouragement, or simply to convey their love and affection, providing the grieving person with the emotional support they need to move forward. However, the appearance of a loved one can also be a source of confusion, fear, or anxiety. If the individual is not ready to confront their grief or come to terms with the loss, the appearance of the deceased loved one may bring up painful emotions and exacerbate their feelings of loss and despair. In such cases, the appearance of the loved one may serve as a catalyst for confronting the grief and seeking support from others. That's all for today. Thank you for watching this video. Please share your thoughts and comments below. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe so you won't miss our upcoming videos. See you next time.